Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Semi-Professional Academic Podcast. As always, I'm your host with the least amount of fucks to give, Jacob Watts. And joining me today is truly a mentally deranged individual. Like someone call Harlem Asylum. I don't know why we have a patient running on the loose. A absolute fucking mess of a person. I'm just kidding. One of my all-time best friends. A true fucking icon in the making. Woman in STEM, most likely to black out and still get an A on the exam.
Oh no.
My Hanny Awards co-host, my ride or die, Sydney fucking Claypoole.
Hello everybody. I'm so happy to be here. And also he's lying. I absolutely definitely am mentally deranged. He was right the first time. Let's just get that out of the way.
It's part of my outreach program.
Aren't you using me as service hours? What the fuck?
You do it too. Don't even.
You're right.
You know?
We gotta do what we gotta do for the resume.
And you would do it too for a check.
I would.
I'm eating the Sour Patch Kid.
Oh yeah. This is like the best thing I've ever seen.
Well, thank you, but also look at these.
No, I know. Like, I love them.
I love how we're just saying things.
We're just saying things, yeah. They can't see us. They don't know what we're doing.
No. So for those of you at home, I don't know why I say that.
They might be in their car, you know.
They might be in their car at work.
At the gym. I listen to a podcast every now and then at the gym.
Wow, it'd be great if you listen to mine. I want y'all to know that before we started doing this episode, she goes, I just have to ask, is it okay if I, swear every now and then? On the podcast marked explicit.
Okay, listen. I listened to the show. I was nervous. I've not listened to the new season yet. It just dropped. I was making sure we were on the same page. Don't come for me like that.
No, it's gonna be so funny because some of these people watching are gonna think I'm actually pissed.
I'm scared you're actually pissed. I watch your show, I swear to God.
No, Sydney I think you were one of the first people I talked about doing the podcast.
Yeah, no. I think so.
I say that Sydney's been watching since episode 2 of season 1, so it's good. But it's great. But I just love being so dramatic and be like, "Do you even love me?
Do you hate me? Should I just go die?
Should I just jump off the Virginia Avenue Bridge?
Should I have gotten hit by that car? Should I have just laid there and let it happen?"
No, literally. I want y'all to know that I walk to campus, to school, because I have my new program. The bio building's a 15-minute walk for me, and the drive is somehow 20 minutes long from the parking lot.
Yeah.
So it just makes more sense. And out of the 5 days this week, I've almost been hit 4 times.
Dude, y'all don't even know that intersection. It is legendary in the city. My friend got literally smushed between 2 cars on his bike, shattered his pelvis, and had to get plates and screws and all that. Missed a year of med school. It was nuts. Oh no!
Drop that.
Casualty.
That is the worst thing to ever happen. You're talking about someone who had to take a year off med school. I know, it's already this is the worst thing that's ever happened to anybody.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You guys don't know the struggle.
No.
Your legs got fixed. That's Sour Patch
That Sour Patch Kid has to go in the trash. Yeah. Do you know how? And it's a blue one. Do you even know how tragic? Yeah.
You know what they need? You know how Starburst has an all pink pack?
Yes.
They need an all big blue pack.
Yes.
Because the bigger Sour Patch Kids taste better.
They're better. They're a lot better. I haven't had the big ones in so long. No, you know what slaps?
What?
The trolley gummy worms. The red and blue ones specifically.
Yes!
Those, I think they make a pack of just those. I might be wrong, don't quote me, but if so...
Everybody quote, if you don't find them, send them to...
Cancel me. Send it to my dean.
Send it to my dean. Oh my goodness. It'd be great if we tell them who the fuck you are.
Oh yeah.
Instead of just talking.
Well, it'd be great if I knew who the fuck I was, but
Okay, girl, we don't have time for that right now.
Okay, you're right.
You got 25 years to figure it out.
You're right, yeah. If I haven't figured it out by now, I probably never will, but whatever.
I love this. No, so Sydney, we're looking for just a little bit of background information on y'all, where you grew up, where you went to school, your social security number.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Probably my routing number and PIN too, wouldn't you say?
Just in case, build the
Just
whole
in case.
picture.
Just in case. Okay, I see. All right. My name's Sydney, like you said. I'm originally from Mount Sterling, Kentucky, which, if you're not from Kentucky, you probably have no fucking clue where that is. And if you are from Kentucky, you probably still don't know where that is. It's like 30 minutes or so outside of Lexington. It's kind of a medium-sized small town, because those exist apparently. That's where I grew up, and for college, I went to Hanover College with Jacob. That's where we met. Majored in biochemistry at Hanover. Went on to med school. I'm currently a third-year med student at the University of Kentucky. Just started my clinical years with rotations in July. God, has it already been like 2 months already? Holy fucking shit. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of where I came from and what I'm doing now.
Awesome. Thank you for that background information, Sydney. And this is what I wanted to talk about, because a freshman year of college is always, let's be real, it's a dumpster fire.
Dude, like, who in society decided that like 18-year-old children should be like thrown together in like 5 consecutive buildings and just set free to be adults and to not be stupid? Spoiler, we're very stupid. What?
Even the smart ones.
Like,
stupid.
Oh my God. Like, literally, you just walked. College is so wild. You would just walk down the street and, like, there's a future, like, astrophysicist, like, in the fucking bush, just, like, passed out.
I was literally going to say my first class when I was walking there, this person who is now a elementary school teacher was puking
oh my God.
for the bio building.
Dude, oh my God. The first day of genetics sophomore year.
Oh, no, we can't get into that.
We can't get into that. No.
We have to, but not yet.
Not yet.
We gotta build the timeline.
Right.
So, we went to a very small school. So, like, by the time, like, everybody knew everybody, I feel like we knew everybody.
Oh, yeah. At least,
I don't know if everybody knew us. I feel like more people knew you.
I feel like more people knew you.
I don't see how.
I do. I felt like definitely. It had to have been at least, like, equal, if anything.
I don't know, but you were a 2-sport athlete, though.
For, like, 1 semester.
Hey, but did it count on that transcript?
It sure did.
That's so wild.
I talked about that in my med school interviews, bro.
No, because this is so wild. So, like, a little bit of context. Sydney was both a women's basketball player and a track athlete you were a basketball player and an athlete too, but like...
Yeah. Sure.
I feel like it's just... Track is like one of those weird sports.
It's like, what do you call it? Because, like, I did jumps. I didn't just run. So it's like a track runner doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's not like...
Track jumper sounds stupid. Like,
track jumper makes it sound like you did something illegal.
It really does.
And like, I know you didn't throw, so I didn't feel like it'd be like, I'd be like,
oh God, no, with my skinty ass arms. Remember, I call Pale Linguini Noodle was my first nickname. Like,
okay, I want you to know,
self-given.
Okay, no, I need to tell this because people saw that and thought I was bullying her, and I want you to know this bitch took my phone and put her name in there as that.
I did, yes, I did.
And then people thought I was the biggest fucking douche for like the first 2 weeks.
And I'm just like cackling at the chaos I've caused. Yeah. I'm like, ha. Anyway, yeah, so definitely
I got her
not.
back, don't worry about
yeah, of course.
That came years in the making.
Of course. Definitely not a fucking thrower though. But yes, so yeah. Track team. Whatever.
So I just say track athlete.
Oh my God, wait, it's like the Barbie movie, like Ken. Like, what's your job? Beach. What's your job? Track. Except I wasn't very good, so it's fine. Anyway.
And I was on the men's tennis team. Never got a fucking picture for it. But but
you were on the roster. Your name's up there. If you
roster,
Google
undefeated. So how it worked at our school was so small, and it was a liberal arts school, so it required you to have like so many hours or credits in all these different disciplines. and they require 2 health and fitness, which is the most high school thing ever I've
I've
heard.
literally ever heard in my life.
They'd be like, gotta get that PE credit.
Right.
So if you were a varsity athlete, you could count your sport in
Yeah.
the thing. And it was so funny because it showed up on your actual fucking transcript. Like fucking
Literally,
PE.
yeah.
So I was like, hey, coach, I know I haven't played at all.
You know, I haven't come to a single thing. However.
No, because he told me not to go.
Oh, right.
And it was... That coach was awful. So like kind of building off all of this, it actually showed up on our transcript like varsity tennis, varsity track. Like,
yeah.
Which is so funny when you apply to graduate school.
Oh, I know. And they're like, hello.
Like, what the hell? But yeah, the coach was awful. Like everybody hated him for tennis.
Yeah.
Like, everybody did, except like 2 people.
Literally, even the not tennis players fucking hated that guy.
Yeah. And it was so funny because me and my friend at the time, Roger, he and I were both like in this chemistry class, and freshman year chemistry, the exams were always Thursday night at 7.
What a fucking nightmare. What a nightmare. Oh my God. I still have nightmares about Thursday night Gen Chem exams.
Like that took a part of my soul that I don't think I'm ever getting back.
Oh my God, dude. Like, just the palpable anxiety in the room when you would walk in that science building and there's like 120 people sitting on the floor like sobbing and like panicking, and you just walk in like you're kind of calm on the walk there because it's like, you know, fucking dark outside and like, or it's like the calm before the storm. It's like a lovely evening and you're just like traipsing to the fucking science center and you're like, okay, I got this. And then you get inside and people are like fucking shrill and like tense and freaking out. And it's just like, oh, well, shit. I'm fucked. All right.
It's like the Hunger Games, but with no winner.
No, yeah, we all lose, actually.
Yeah. So, but me and Roger had this exam at 7. And the coach scheduled a tennis match literally Thursday at 7.
Oh my God.
And he told us both. Keep in mind, I wasn't even playing. I wasn't even fucking playing because the coach before him brought on 6 freshmen.
Oh my God.
To a roster that already had 10.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm not blaming him on that because, like, you know, no, actually I do, because I emailed him and I was like, hey, can I come? He's like, yeah, sure. It was the most unserious thing.
Right.
Most unserious thing.
Dude.
But then would say, like, you guys are D3, so, like, you're not here because you get paid, so I can work you harder. I was like,
excuse me?
Where's that logic?
I'm sorry. Hello?
So he told us both to try and take the chemistry exam early.
Oh my God.
And listen, no.
Absolutely not.
No skull emoji. Not even heart.
No heart emoji.
It was awful. And I was actually talking about this on the last episode, so sorry for those people who've heard it, but my fan base is so inconsistent. No one's seen both episodes yet. But I remember, because we were in different biology classes, like first semester.
First semester, yeah. Yeah, I think so. And we were also in different chem first semester too, right?
But then we became friends and they were in this.
And then we had like every class together until senior year.
Junior year, but that's a story.
Junior year doesn't count.
that's a story that, like, I'll set up later.
Yeah.
But second semester, like, because when did we meet? How do we meet? Like, because I feel like we knew each other in the first semester.
Yeah.
Do we meet at a party?
I don't know. You know what? We did have Bio 161 together because you thought I didn't like you and I thought you didn't like me. But then you lived on the same hall with a certain male that I knew. And I just want you to know, if I could meet 18-year-old me, I would beat her fucking ass. What the fuck? Anyway. Yeah, so you...
Wait. Was it Bio 161?
I think so.
Who'd you have for Bio 161?
Hubs?
No, I had Gall.
Maybe? Okay, so maybe we didn't actually... Okay, we didn't physically talk until second semester because we had hubs together, but you still thought I didn't like you, and I thought you didn't like me.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, and because we also... There's no way to say this without making you sound so awful.
Oh, no.
But you are.
Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm playing. But so second semester, my friend group like all said like, I'll take Bio 185 this section together, like da. And because of that, I had to switch like chemistry professors, which I wasn't against.
I wasn't against. So yeah.
I signed up to take chemistry with the head of the department who had not taught Gen Chem in 5 years?
Yeah.
So like if I could go back in time, I would also beat the shit out of 18-year-old Jake. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
What the hell were we thinking doing that? Anyway.
Like, we really wanted to be the main character so bad.
We did.
So, I'm in this class, and Sydney had to take the same class because her professor for Gen Chem, because what did Cunningham do? Like, was he on sabbatical or was he teaching another course?
I think he had to teach a different course because somebody like left or something, and so he had to fill in, which meant he couldn't teach Gen Chem 2. And so I had to take Steven.
I love how in the past I'm like, no, let's not name drop. And then season 2, I'm like, this motherfucker,
this fucking guy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, no.
We can edit it out if we need.
No, let's not. I mean, but currently at this time, there's no F in my logo because we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. There's no F's to give.
Yeah. So we're in this class, and this class is full of, in my opinion, some of the biggest personalities to ever come through Hanover College.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna name drop. There was Bryn, there was Sam, there was Leo, there was me and Sydney, there was Devin, there was Mav, and
Emily, Blaze. Natalie, was Natalie in there? Natalie was in there. Yeah, she was. Yeah. And which that was before she was really like boisterous. I felt like she was really quiet at first.
But she was so nice. She was.
I still love her. I adore her.
I haven't seen her in a minute.
I haven't either.
But it's so funny because if anybody who knows like that niche of people,
oh my god,
knows just what the clusterfuck that was. The van that comes up every year. When that comes up on my Snapchat memories, it's like a fucking national holiday because I have to share it on my story.
Yes,
and I literally everybody in that class like responds, be like, "This was the funniest fucking thing."
It's still so funny.
So. Poor Steve.
Oh god, he hated us. He hated us. He hated himself at that point.
No one won.
No one learned anything either.
No.
Like
so literally he shamed us for not protesting.
Oh my god, we had an exam next day or like that night or something, and we were supposed to have like a review session with him. He was supposed to go over some really difficult topics with us. I mean, it's second semester chemistry. If you're a chemistry person, you know that that's all the fucking physics and shit, light and electric and whatever the hell. Fucking p orbitals. Like, I don't even know.
Have you used a p orbital?
Never in my life.
Me neither.
Never.
Me neither.
Oh, actually, they held a gun to my head when I walked into the hospital the first day, and they were like, explain what a SPQR7 orbital is, and I was like, no, and they killed me on the spot. Actually,
same thing when I was like defending my comps around masters in biology. They were like, we love your independent research and your documentation of this bacteria infection in this species that's never been documented before, but you did not know the difference between an S squared orbital and a regular p orbital, so you have to be fucking executed.
Yeah, it's like, all right. Fair enough though. But anyway, yeah, like we're supposed to have this review session and he's gonna like help us and stuff, but this is America and some horrific gun violence episode happened, and there was a campus-wide protest happening. He comes in with none of his stuff. He didn't have his little satchel. He didn't have his papers. He didn't have anything. He comes in and he's like, "What are y'all doing here?" And we were like, "What the fuck? You just walked in here too. What do you mean? What are we doing here?" Like, what?
Literally.
What?
Literally.
We're all like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "There's the protest in 5 minutes." And we're like, "Yeah, there's a chemistry test in 7 hours. What do you want from us?" And he's like, "Well, I just cannot believe that your generation is just so complicit and so fine with the way that things are." And he's like, "You guys can sit here if you want, but I'm going." And he like storms out of the room like dramatically. And like, you know what? Props to him. Like, you know what? Take your stance. I participated in several walkouts at Hanover while we were there.
We really had too many.
We had a lot. Yeah, we did. That was our kind of our thing there. Yeah.
That and trauma, man.
That and trauma. Oh yeah, you know, you have to combat the trauma somehow, I guess. And
With more trauma?
with more trauma. Yeah, but you know, we're all freshmen. We're all terrified because this is a hard class.
And keep in mind, no one's doing well.
No one's doing well. Not even the people that are good at chemistry are doing well in this class.
Like we assigned them the holy trinity of Gen Chem.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of them were our dear friends, Bryn and Leo. I would say hi, Bryn, hi, Leo, but I know you don't watch this. But even because we both went up to like, because I don't feel like we were bad at Gen Chem, but we were not.
We were not
great.
good either.
We were not good. We got by.
We were so mediocre. It was not even funny.
We were mid as fuck.
You're right.
But so we asked them, and they were like, "Hey, how do y'all know what to do?" And Bryn just goes, "I have no fucking clue." And I love Bryn. She was so real.
Her.
She was like, so
you're
real.
so real for that.
And Leo was like, "I've stopped paying attention since like the first day."
Leo would just sleep in the class.
Still did better than us.
And still did better than us. Fuck you.
So fucking weird.
Fucking hate it here.
Yeah. So
anyway, so we're all just stunned to silence. The woman was too stunned to speak. Our jaws are on the floor, and there's just silence for a solid 90 seconds probably, while we're all just looking at the door, expecting it to, you know, like say psych right now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and I want y'all to know, this was the exam coming after, because I think this was the 3rd exam.
I think so. So it was important.
Yeah. And the 2nd exam, we did so bad. Like,
oh my God.
He let us do corrections to get half points back.
Yeah, because it was such, like, the whole class just did so poorly.
Yeah. And so it's not like we were doing great.
No, we were very much struggling. And this is the point where, you know, coming into college, especially somewhere like Hanover, I feel like everybody at that time was pre-med. Every single fucking person was pre-med. And which is fine, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, there's lots of different routes you can go with pre-med.
Yeah,
but I feel like it wasn't even that. It's not like people were like pre-med, like, oh, I want to be like a genetic analyst, or I want to be like a pulmonary consultant. There's no way that's a real thing. Like, I got that title
close
wrong.
enough. Yeah,
but like it sounded legit.
It did.
But we were all like, oh, we're all gonna go to medical school.
I was like, oh my God, I want to be a doctor. And then like, yeah. Anyway,
so many people dropped off.
So many people immediately were like, absolutely not. Which fair, you know. So you know what? Honestly, y'all are the realists for that. Like, y'all are so real for that.
Says the girl who passed fucking step 1
you
on
know,
the first try in her 3rd year of medical school.
You know,
and it's my 3rd year out here.
It's only my 3rd year out here. I don't know. But yeah, like, you know, at that time we're all like freaking out about our grades, and we all want to get A's in the class so that we can, you know, have a good GPA and all that.
Yeah, they grilled us like it's always.
Oh yeah.
It's so easy to go down. It's so hard to go up.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, we're all just sitting there like, okay, hello, help, please.
Yeah. And this was such an intensive program, and going from a small private school to a like medium-sized state school where like I had a TA and I took technically like undergrad courses, but they apply for the graduate school credit. Hanover was so hard.
Hanover was so
much harder.
It was so hard.
like I tell everybody, like if you had like this may be my ego talking because I graduated with like a 3.4 from Hanover.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have had like a 3.9 or a 4.0 anywhere else.
For sure.
And
It was just so difficult for no reason. And also, low key, some of those like gen ed classes were harder than our science classes. And for what?
Intro to archaeology.
That's how we. Wait, is that where we became friends?
Yes! Oh my god!
It was!
Wow!
Oh my god!
No, 'cause I feel like
Epiphany.
This was so funny. I feel like this was just like a friendship that was just destined to happen.
Yes.
Because I want y'all to know, like, the school's fucking small.
Yeah. Like 1,100 people.
1,100 people. So Sydney and I, like, we knew of each other, I feel like, but like it wasn't like we didn't even follow each other on Instagram or Snapchat.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have Snapchats from like so many people that I don't talk to. Like,
I know.
ever.
I know.
It's embarrassing.
I know. Me too.
But so we go from like not talking to second semester. We literally have every fucking class
Every
together.
single class. Yeah.
Like same class, same section.
Yeah. Literally.
And I want y'all know this is so funny. This is so fucking funny. So bio 185. We had chemistry together. We've been over this. We also have bio 185, which is directly after chemistry, which should be fucking illegal.
It should be illegal. My brain was so fried.
Yeah, but I come into chemistry at like 9:20, and Sydney's like, "How was the bio exam?" I was like, "Haven't taken it." And she goes, "Don't you guys take it at 8 a.m.?" I was like, "Bitch, I'm in your section." She goes, oh, "I completely forgot."
Listen, for context, I was undiagnosed ADHD at this point. I don't remember anything.
Girl, we all were.
I mean, fair. But I was just out here raw dogging life and memory and
Raw dog
attention.
And ADHD, raw dog and mental illness.
All of it. Yeah. Yeah, that is it. Yeah. And, I was so embarrassed. That was like my moment that I like laid awake at night thinking about for a while of just like, like me being like, oh my God, how's the test? And you're like, I'm in your section. I felt so fucking bad. I felt so bad. Oh my God, that haunted me.
Why?
I don't know, because that's just who I am, I guess. And
that's not even in the top 3 worst things you've done to me, though.
No.
That makes it sound like so bad.
Oh,
like
no.
I was like that's not even like that makes it sound so bad. That makes it so much worse.
Right, but
like,
it was the first offense. You know what I mean? Like
the first scar.
The first scar.
But no, it was so funny. It was honestly so funny to me because then that same day we had an intro to archaeology at like 1:20.
Yeah.
Like, afterwards.
Oh,
So I walk up to her and be like, "Oh, just so you know, I'm in this one too."
I was
She goes, "I'm sorry."
I'm
Like,
so sorry.
but we had already taken, and I just want to say, like, this intro to archaeology. First of all, why the fuck is the intro class a 200 level?
That was our first mistake, honestly. Like, why did we think that was a good idea?
I think we thought it was gonna be like Indiana Jones.
I think I did too. And then it was just all of the fucking pots with like naked people on them and like all the like sex
not naked
scenes.
people. They were like fucking.
They were literally full on fucking.
Yeah.
And this guy, for context, our professor was like an elder in a Pentecostal church in town, and
The signs were there.
the signs were there, and he's sitting in front of us just going through his PowerPoint of fucking clay porn, you know. And he's like, "Look how fascinating," and we're all like, what the fuck?" Like,
and I was thinking, like, you have a baby, so
You have a child.
so I know you fuck. Like,
Yeah, so I'm like,
let's
dog,
let's
what?
stop with the incel behavior.
anyway, yeah, so fucking weird, so difficult. We had like 60 pages of reading a night, and he would quiz us
Every day.
every day. We had a reading quiz, and if you didn't do the reading,
You got fucked.
You were not going to pass that fucking quiz.
No, and I want y'all to know, like, there's no archaeology major at the school.
No.
So, like,
No.
why we went this hard, I don't understand.
I'll never know.
And
We spent 2 weeks talking about columns, the different types
I'm
of
being so real, I
columns.
don't remember a fucking thing.
I don't either.
And I'm gonna be so fucking shady right now.
Please do.
I want y'all to know. I want y'all to know. I've never lied once on this podcast. I've never spared anyone's feelings on this podcast.
Hell no.
This man, literally, the favoritism jumped out so quickly.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I don't think you were favored. I just think you were appreciated for your comments.
Yeah.
You were favored in other things, but like we'll talk about
that's another story.
That's another thing. But so I was not one of his favorites.
He only had 2, and they were both the like classics majors.
Yeah, but I loved them so
well,
much.
yeah, I adore that. I fault them 0 because they were great.
That's one thing like that I think we got very good at was like, and I think we've always been good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've never blamed like the students for like the professor's mistakes.
God, no. Yeah.
We always blamed like who was accountable.
Right.
Which is very easy to not do.
Yes,
it's very easy
Jesus.
to be like, fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
We didn't. But I remember like I would be saying something and be like, I just don't really get like this because I feel like, and I'm not known for saying in pocket things.
True. This is true. Let the record show.
Let the record show. I mean, I told a professor he did not have big dick energy to his face in a class that I desperately needed to do well.
Oh my god, what a day. What a day.
What a day. And I would just be like, I don't get this. Like, I don't see like the importance of it. And he goes like, well, not everyone has the eye for it. I was like,
he just called you stupid to your face. Like, holy shit.
To my face. And like, and I remember I said, I was like, well, fuck you too, I guess.
Yeah, fuck you too then.
And he goes, well, I didn't mean it like that. I'd be like, I don't know how else you could have meant that. I don't know how,
yeah, right.
And so I remember we had an extra credit assignment. And he goes, tell me some things about this. I want you to know it was a 3-point thing. I wrote like a 5-page fucking dissertation on the importance of this.
Oh, I remember that.
And I sent it to Sydney and I was just like, I want you to know this is what I'm writing. And not because to show off, but because one thing about me is I'm so petty and there's nothing I do better than revenge.
Absolutely not.
So I literally wrote this whole thing and like sent it to him. Like I cited sources. I was like,
oh my god, you went so hard.
I was going so fucking hard for 3 extra credit point assignment.
You know what? It'd be like that.
And I was like, I hope I had the eye for this assignment and sent it to him.
Oh wow, incredible.
And then he was just like, this is actually really good.
It's like, yeah, no shit. What the fuck? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I think maybe it was because of that class that I came to your door that night. It was either that or maybe a bio one. I think it was because he was very vague on his instructions sometimes. And so
it was very like, I don't know how, it was very rural hipster vibes.
It was.
If that makes any sense to anybody.
I remember because I knew where you lived, like I knew which room was yours, and this was also still, freshman year dorms, and so all of our fucking doors had our little name tags on them from our RAs or whatever, and I came up and knocked on your door.
And it's so weird. And like, I wasn't expecting that because like Dayon had like my freshman year roommate. He had left like, I think for Indy, like for the weekend or something. So I was like, this is weird. I'm not expecting anybody.
Like who is here? And and we ended up like, I literally just came by to ask you about an assignment. And then I think we ended up talking like literally just in your doorway.
I think we talked
for like an hour and a half or something.
I know. Because like this man I knew.
This man that I knew at one time was your neighbor, and and it was so funny because I was so scared. I was so scared to come knock on your door. I was so social anxiety ridden at that point in my life, and like I still am, but back then I was just absolutely petrified of interaction.
I know. Well, it's so funny because I was so nervous to go up and talk to you.
Yeah.
Because at this point we had been in the same exact fucking schedule.
Like around each other for a while.
For like at least 2 months, I think.
Yeah.
And I remember I had just followed you like on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And I want people to know this. Like, I really thought she did not like me for the sense because, and now I know why. Like I didn't do anything, and I don't know why you thought I didn't like you.
I don't know. I just think everyone hates me. It's a problem.
Honestly, same.
I'm just like, oh, they must hate me.
Like, I breathed.
Yeah, right. They hate me.
But I remember like we were in chemistry, and I remember this so vaguely. Like, I say vaguely as if I could recall every fucking detail.
Right.
But Steiner said, "Be like, we're learning this today," and I go, "Oh fuck!" Like verbally loud, and I look over Sydney, and she turns away, and I thought, like, for some reason, like she had like, this is very early in the semester, so like I thought she like valued chemistry so high, like I insulted her entire being, and later she told me she was laughing. She's like, "That was really cool as fuck."
That was fucking funny. No, it was because didn't you say one time that I gave you like Christian girl vibes?
Okay.
That's why you thought I would like you.
I want y'all to know she would walk in like with that like fall scarf that every Christian girl had.
Dude, yeah.
What, a blueberry bagel with cream cheese. That was actually fire though.
Every day. I would be late over that shit.
As you should.
I was like, I'm making my goddamn coffee and my fucking blueberry bagel. I don't care.
Yeah.
I was blonde as fuck at the time. Like white blonde.
Yeah. So I mean.
So yeah. I mean, I see where you're coming from.
I mean, like no shade to blondes, but like all the like where given the area where we were.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell I was on at that point. I don't know what I was on about.
So, I mean, but you looked good blonde, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I like this better, to be honestly.
Yeah. I feel more like myself. This is natural, and it's easier to take care of. And
yeah. I like the blonde, like, frame.
Oh my god, my little antenna. I love them.
The antenna.
I love them. But yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't remember why I thought you didn't like me. I think it was because, like, I don't know. I really don't know.
I was very nervous to talk to you simply because I felt like everybody in that class was so connected.
That's fair.
I wasn't.
That's fair.
Like, I felt like everyone was annoyed by me being there.
Oh, God, no. Absolutely not. We could not have given less of a fuck about anything. Like,
I know, but like when you're 18,
when
you don't know that.
No, you don't know that. Yeah, you're the center of your own universe. Like, you're worried about everything, and like we still are, but we just hide it better. You know,
so real. But honestly, like, I'm so glad that you like knocked on my door,
dude. I know. Aw,
like,
that's so sweet.
And then it didn't take me. Here's the thing about me. Like, once like we get familiar, I'm like, listen.
Yeah, literally.
I remember one time, and I don't know why. I can't believe I did this. I had to have been drunk or something. But I was like, oh my gosh, like, I need to tell you something. She's like, I met this guy I know.
Oh no.
And I bust open the door. This guy and I, like, we have no beef, but like we're not friends either.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hi.
Hi, I need her.
We start talking. I'm sitting in this guy's room. Like, we have no problems. I mean, we probably have problems after this, but like, we just started talking for like 30 minutes. He goes, can we have some space? And you go, no.
No.
No, we're busy.
Absolutely not. Oh, weird. Heebie-jeebies. Anyway, yeah, that's the long twisty version of our origin story.
What time do you think we're at right now?
40 minutes.
You've looked at your fucking watch.
I don't know what time we started.
We're at 43 minutes.
Let's go. I'm so smart.
Yeah. But so like we kind of talked about it, but Sydney, like, you went to Hanover to like pursue medical school.
Yes, yeah. I did.
And like, would you mind like telling us like how like you kind of like stumbled on that path of like to medicine, and like what kind of like maybe inspired you to pursue that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up knowing, like, dead certain from the time I was like 4 years old, I was like, I'm gonna be a vet. I loved animals. I loved gross shit when I was a kid. Like,
explains your dating history.
Right? Like, the patterns are there, you know?
The patterns are there.
Right.
The correlation.
That one's a causation. That's what's wrong.
The p-value is less than 0.05.
It is. Anyway, so I would gross my parents the fuck out. Like, I would be sitting there at my little kid table eating my peanut butter and jelly sandwich and Doritos, like watching a vet show where there's just an animal like open on the table, like blood everywhere. And I'm just like fascinated. And my parents are like, what the fuck, weirdo? Turn that off. Like, what is wrong with you? But yeah, so I grew up loving science and just being really into, you know, how things work, especially like life and, you know, biology and stuff like that. I took, you know, obviously everybody has to take biology in high school, and I took anatomy in high school. But up until the time I was probably a senior in high school, I thought I'm going to be a vet. I almost went to UK to do equine science and like animal sciences or something like that, because UK used to have a program where they would, like Auburn University, is it university? Yeah, Auburn University, yeah. They had some seats at their vet school kind of reserved for UK students because there's no vet school really in this side of in this region of the country. And so that's kind of what I thought I was going to do. And then I shadowed a vet in like my junior year of high school, and I was like, holy fucking shit, this is boring. Like, this is so boring. Like, this is not like Emergency Vets on Animal Planet. Like, this is not the same vibe. And especially with like, because I was a horse girl. Done, you know, insert like sound effect, like wait, the TikTok one that's like dumb, you know, dude, that'd be so funny. Like add sound effect,
like this interview, Jacob's version.
Jacob's version.
They're all my version.
They're all your version, yeah.
But they don't need to know.
They don't have to know.
Yeah, so anyway,
horse girl, but not the weird kind that would like gallop on my hands and knees on the playground, but like I actually like rode and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I shadowed an equine vet, which, you know, Lexington's real big into horses if you're not already familiar. And it was just not what I thought it was. I was just bored, and, you know, animals are great and stuff, but I like talking to people too, and so, you know, you don't really talk to your patients, really. I mean, you can, but you get weird looks, you know?
Yeah. You ain't Dr. Doolittle.
I ain't Dr. Doolittle, like, unfortunately. So, yeah, I was kind of, you know, I'm like 16 or 17, and I'm like, oh shit, like, what am I gonna do with my life now? And around that time, my grandma, who I was really close to, ended up, getting pancreatic cancer. And for anybody who's not in the medical field or anybody who hasn't had family with pancreatic cancer, it's a very, very poor prognosis, you know, a very aggressive, nasty disease. And she was in the hospital for a really long period of, you know, the last couple months of her life. So I spent a long time in the hospital with her, with my mom, a lot of hours and days and stuff with her. And I just remember sitting there in her hospital room, and UK is a teaching hospital, so you have different teams of residents and medical students and attendings coming in and out, all these different teams working together. And I just remember how good those doctors and especially the medical students, like how good they were to my family. You know, they would always be coming in to check on us, and they would always explain things to us in a way that, you know, we could understand, and nobody in my family has a background in medicine or science or anything. And so a lot of these things, these complicated things that were going on, were kind of over our heads just a little bit, especially like my grandpa, who he only had a high school education. And so it was really cool seeing them kind of integrate that clinical knowledge and stuff, but make it digestible for us, and also care for my grandma, comfort us, and do kind of all these things at once. And the medical students were great because they had a little bit more time with us, because medical students are usually only assigned like a handful of patients, whereas actual doctors have 25 patients to deal with. So anytime we needed something, the med students would be like on it. Like they would find out for us, they'd get stuff changed for her, they'd get her medicine if she needed it. And it was just really cool to see, and the impact that everybody involved in her care kind of had on her and her well-being, but also on us as the family. And that's when I kind of started thinking, you know, maybe I do want to do medicine in some capacity, but just not with animals. Like I liked that, you know, I liked that human connection. And so I started shadowing some doctors at UK and kind of around Lexington. And I just kind of knew from then on that that's what I wanted to do, and I never had a backup plan, so to hell with it. I never came up with one, so it was that or nothing.
I mean, you know, honestly, we love a commitment to the bit.
We love it. We love it.
And like, I don't know. I feel like once you're that invested in like medicine at that young of an age, you know that route somewhere is good.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that like all paths are the same, but if you start out with that idea, typically like it's not that hard to pivot from one lane to another.
Right. Yeah.
But no, that's really cool. And like I just want to talk about like it's so amazing to me like when people take the information and like break it down for you to like really connect with you. And in your, just because like you've had more experience, like do you feel like bedside manner is something that can be taught, or do you think some people are just naturally like gifted it, like as like similar to like academic ability, some people are just better bedside manner than others?
Honestly, I think the answer is yes to both. I think that with practice, I think somebody that is not great at bedside manner can become decent at it. However, if somebody already kind of innately has that ability to connect with people and be really authentic with them and unintimidating and caring, there's not really much that you can teach that person to make them better, because they're already just good at it naturally. Some people ain't got it. They never will get it. It don't matter. It doesn't matter how many standardized patient encounters we have. It doesn't matter how many lectures we get on empathy or whatever. Some people just don't have it. And any other field, I'd be like, and that's okay. But unfortunately, it's not okay if you're in medicine, but that's a soapbox for a later day. But yeah, I think there are definitely ways that you can improve if your heart's in the right place, but you just are a little awkward or like don't really know how to connect with people. And so there's definitely room for improvement if you work at it, but I think some people just have it, and that's great.
No. Do you think you have it? I haven't seen you like in a professional setting. I know you personally, like as a friend, I would say you have it, but
I've been told that I do. That's been something, like I have such bad imposter syndrome. Like I literally cannot take like positive feedback at all. I'm like, you're lying. I'm like they're just saying that to be nice. I've had a lot of preceptors and attendings tell me that I have like a calming presence with patients, which made me cry. A psychiatry attending told me that I have a calming presence with patients that are like acutely ill.
That's such a high praise.
Yeah, from a psychiatrist, like they will like tear you up if you are not good at bedside manner, because like 80% of psychiatry is interacting with patients and stuff.
I would argue that's the specialty where you need that the most.
You do. Absolutely you do. So when she wrote that about me, I literally burst into tears and sobbed, because it was just the sweetest thing anybody's ever said to me in a professional context. And so I've been told that I do. Again, I will literally never take a compliment ever over my dead body. But yeah, I don't know. I try really hard, I guess.
Yeah. I agree with the sentiment that like you can always improve, but like you're capped in some regards.
Yeah.
And like that's okay. I mean, this is gonna sound awful, but I relate to like 2K players. Like we can't all be we can't all be 99 rating. Dog.
No, we can't. Yeah. No.
And I don't know. Like I feel like being aware of your weaknesses is like very important.
Yeah, for sure.
But also being aware of your strengths is also very important.
Yeah, which is something I'm definitely trying to work on.
It'd be hard to work less on.
Exactly. I am literally the worst about it. Like, that's one thing I have been really proud of myself over the last couple of years has been I've put a lot of time and effort into changing my mindset on things. When you do something like a STEM field, it's really easy to get bogged down with things. Everybody, you're miserable. I mean, let's be real. Like, at Hanover, we were fucking miserable doing the things that we did.
You mean we weren't having the time of our life?
You mean that it wasn't the best 4 years of our life? What?
I'm sorry. If college is the best 4 years of your life,
Get a fucking grip.
it's the new peaking in high school.
Get a fucking grip. That's all I have to say to you. I'm not mad. Actually, I am. Actually. Actually, all tea, all shade. Get a grip.
We're not saying you can't enjoy your time in college.
Which we did. You know, we did.
We did. Like,
however, we had.
I don't feel like that was our best form.
No, absolutely not. No.
I mean, I was depressed. I hated school. I had no love for academics anymore.
Yeah, no. And
you, where do I start?
Where do I start? I don't even know, dude. I was in really bad relationship after really bad relationship. I was just like so unconfident in myself, so unhappy with my performance, with my social life, like in the sense that I didn't appreciate it enough. And I was so stuck and I didn't know how to get out of this mindset. And my only goal, the only thing in my head ever was gotta get to med school. I just have to get into med school. I have to do whatever I have to do to get into med school. And then it's like, you know, and I feel like it was similar for you, like with your career goals and stuff, because I feel like once we both realized like we got into the programs that we wanted to get into, we like thrived. We were different people.
Oh, totally.
Completely. And so senior year was fun. Senior year was fine, but well, okay, fine is relative, but
I say this, I feel like you had a better time than I did.
That's fair. Yeah.
But you didn't have, I want to stress, no one had a great time.
No one had a great time.
But like,
no.
One thing like I'm very thankful for is, and this is what I tell everyone, like find people who are like similarly motivated to you.
Oh my God. Yes.
Because I really feel like more tolerable, and you definitely made mine more tolerable.
Absolutely. I tell people stories about Hanover sometimes, and they're like, "What the fuck? Like, why did you stay?"
Same.
And I'm literally like, because of my friends. Like literally, like you and like Kendall, Leo, Casey, like my sorority sisters, like the ones I was really close to, like those were the people that made me stay, because everything else was pretty freaking toxic at times. And Hanover had a horrible retention rate while we were there. I don't know what it is now, but it was pretty bad for a small school. No.
And like I don't like mean to dog on it, because there were great people.
There were so many great people. There were great professors. There were great programs.
Tony.
We love Tony in this house.
I met his girlfriend.
Oh my God. What? Yeah. Really?
Yeah, when I was applying to Walmart for the summer. Like, she worked at Walmart.
Oh my God, I love her.
I was like, I love her. She goes, he had to leave. He had to get like a better job, and he misses you guys. I was like, oh my God,
Tony, I love you.
Tony probably would not be able to pick me out of a
No, Tony would be like, who the fuck are you?
One professor in particular, I loved Dr. Hubbs so much.
Oh my God, I love her.
Talk about a real one. And like,
she was great.
Yeah, especially senior year, after coming back and for the first time after like the global pandemic was announced.
Yeah.
There was a lot of questions, and she was just, I think what set her apart, like among so many things from like other faculty members, was the fact that she really was so upfront and honest with like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't say that, but like
right. In her like nice PG terms, yes.
Yeah, like, and I feel like a lot of times I get it, like you can't tell your freshmen that, because like they'll tweak the fuck out about anything.
Right.
But when we're all seniors in there, just having like that vulnerability and honesty, it was so refreshing. And I really think that's like
Yeah.
Okay, no one knows what's going on.
Exactly. And for context, she's a virologist.
Yeah.
So, like, for her to not try to, flex on everybody with her expertise and knowledge and pretend that she knew when she didn't or something, like, for her to say, like, hey, this is really scary. I don't know what's going on. Nobody really knows. We're taking it day by day, was really comforting. And she was so understanding with the stress that everybody was under for various reasons, but all compounded by COVID. I love her. Like, her glow up from like when she started teaching to when we graduated was absolutely unmatched.
Yeah. And when we say glow up, we simply mean like freshman year, and I think this is a fair comment. She hesitated, I feel like, in some regards, because she literally just graduated with her PhD.
Right, yeah.
So just graduated with her PhD, got a faculty position, like knew her shit. You could just tell like it was just nerves.
Yeah, she was trying to find her own
footing, and like I feel like administration wanted her to pick up where another professor left off,
who had like 40 years of experience and also was a man. Let me just fucking preface.
And do with that information what you will.
Right. Anyway.
And her research was very different than his.
Yeah.
And I felt like she was trying to blend herself in with what they wanted of her, but like when she just not finally, because I felt like she was a little bit of a people pleaser in that time. Yeah. And when she finally was just like, no, I'm going to do what I want. Yeah. Like she just
blossomed.
She literally like the development's like night and day.
Mm-hmm. Like two different people.
Like she was so, you could just tell like she like had so much more confidence in herself. And it was so amazing to watch.
I learned more in cell bio and virology, those two classes back to back senior year. I learned more in those two than I did in any other class my entire 4 years.
I learned so much in cell bio.
I learned so much, and it's like...
And as someone who's not a micro-based person, I say this as my master's in fucking like microbiology.
Uh-oh.
But no, like it just... Once like she was able to do what she was passionate about and what she really liked. Yeah. It was amazing. And I love that. Because I'll be full honest, some of those students were bitches to her.
Oh, they were. Yeah, I would always feel so bad. Like, she would do things to kind of try to come off as a hard ass, which I understand is annoying as a student. Like, we all don't like those people.
But as a first-year faculty member and as a woman in STEM, I
get her frustration. That. Like, I get it. Like, you feel like you have to put on that front because you don't want people to take advantage of you, or you don't want people to think that you are a doormat or that you're not respectable, And so I get it. Like, now that I'm older, I get it.
Yeah. And I feel like they did such a disservice to her, making her teach intro bio her first year.
Yeah, I agree. That was brutal for everybody involved.
Because, myself included, and like I feel like you would say that we don't have this mindset to evaluate, to like fairly critically.
Oh my God. Someone. No, it's all emotional. It's like that knee-jerk reaction, like either I like you or I don't. And if I like you, I'm going to write like one sentence. And if I hate you, I'm going to write a paper and just, lash out. And now I understand that that's not the way to go about it.
I'm grateful to say that I feel like for her, I gave very fair criticisms.
Yeah, I did too. I tried. It took a lot out of me at the time, but it did. But yeah.
No, and it was just all in... She didn't really have a say in what the curriculum was. Right. Because you had to teach it a certain way. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people were unfair to her. Yeah. Both student-wise and administration-wise. Yeah. But just the fact that, like, she's like, fuck it, I'm going to keep going with this. Yeah. It's just amazing.
I know.
A victory we all needed.
Yeah, she's one of my, like, role models just because of that. Because she was so great.
And she honestly was kind of like an unofficial advisor to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like I still text her about grad school and everything. Like, she's the whole reason not the whole reason. I shouldn't say that because I don't want to like discredit myself.
Right. Yeah.
But
Definitely not.
she was such a big supporter of me getting to like grad school and like
Yeah.
sent me like her CV, like her letter, like her personal statement.
Yeah, that's so
and just
sweet.
having like that to go off of, it was just
so helpful.
And full tea, full shade. She was so more proud and excited for me when I graduated with my master's and when I got into my PhD program and got into like my master's program than my advisor was.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, your advisor sucks dick.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah, right.
But
ew, yeah.
No. But no, yeah. I feel like we're kind of like going like on a story route.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about we continue the stories a little bit?
Yeah, sounds great to me.
All right, but they'll have to be for next week for y'all.
Cliffhanger.
CEO of cliffhangers, but I say that I've had one.
I've had one.
Yeah. But no, Sydney, honestly, thank you for being here for this week's episode.
Absolutely.
And how do you feel about being double booked?
I guess I'll fit it in my schedule. I say as if we're not literally just going to keep going right now. I would love it.
They don't need to know that.
They don't need to know that.
Yeah.
No, I would love it.
I'm not going to put a 3-hour episode on them in one evening.
You know what? That is very fair.
Let's be real. They're not going to watch. I mean, Sydney still has not watched. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, you know me.
Are you feel like you're going to watch your own episode?
God, no, I hate listening to myself talk.
Like and subscribe. No, but Sydney, kind of before we head off for this week's episode, you talked about jokingly going back and punching 18-year-old Sydney in the face.
Man.
But really, like, because we're going to be talking about stories like during college, but
yeah,
since we kind of like talked for freshman year to death,
yeah,
if you could go back in time, honestly, like for real, what's one piece of advice you would give freshman year Sydney? Like no jokes, like no bullshit, like
sure,
honestly, straight up advice.
Yeah. I would go back and I would tell myself to snap the fuck out of it. And I'm trying to figure out how to word this so you can edit this part out. I would go back and I would change my mindset about things. I've always been a more pessimistic person. I'm not just a glass half empty person. I'm like, there's no water in my glass because I'm in hell. Sorry. And I've really tried over the last couple of years to take everything that comes and use it to get to where I'm going. Does that make sense?
No,
like
totally.
All of the trials that you go through are going to get you where you need to be. And I had a habit, and I still do. It's really hard to undo 25 years of, brain chemistry and patterns and stuff. But I've always been a person that, when things happen, they just feel like they're never going to get better. I'm going to feel like this forever. And that made college, I think, especially, and even like the first 2 years of med school, that made things really, really hard because, I would just get into these kind of funks like, I'm not smart enough to be here. I don't deserve to be here. I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to figure it out. And somehow you always do. Literally, like things always work out the way that they're supposed to work out. You always get where you are meant to be. Like one way or another, it will happen. And I would just go back and tell myself to take a fucking breath and maybe meditate or something, like Jesus Christ. And just use every opportunity as a way to grow and learn and not just, okay, I wasn't absolutely perfect at this one thing one time, so it's over. It's all over for me. I would get out of I would tell myself to stop catastrophizing everything and, think that every little thing I did was going to make me or break me. And so then when I screwed up, then I was just down and out,
Yeah.
So
Heard
yeah.
it wild now. Now get ready for it.
Yeah. Oh, that's next episode. Honey. That's next episode.
Facts.
But yeah, I have really put a lot of effort and therapy into kind of reteaching myself how to think about things and how to approach like hard situations. And so I would definitely give myself a push a couple of years sooner to start doing that, because I probably would have, learned a lot more in college and, retained a lot more information and been able to like enjoy myself a little bit more. But yeah, I think that's it.
So awesome. I mean, not awesome you went off to that, but like,
yeah.
like that's a great piece. That's a great piece of advice.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so true. Well, Sydney, thank you again for being on this week's episode. And
Absolutely.
we have a fun little surprise for next week's episode, but you guys will have to tune in and watch. Remember, new episodes uploaded every Friday. Be sure to tune in. Turn on that follow button on Instagram and Twitter to keep up with any news. We are available wherever you listen to your podcast, and give us a rating, because some of y'all are so kind and we love to hear your feedback on things about what you guys would like for the rest of the season, or just like bits you enjoy. And as always, I am Jacob Watts with no fucks to give. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.